Let's see if that is actually working. What's quite interesting about the live is when you stream the stuff, it actually delays by about a minute. So it's no good watching the live stream while you're racing because it won't tell you anything. It'll give you a minute out all the time.
And I think, to be fair, that's my usual reaction to some sort of attack anyway.
We've got 2 viewers. Welcome, viewers.
Can we watch it afterwards, David? I think we can.
Yeah. So what we'll do is once it's all done, it kind of saves itself, and it then does some kind of formatting and all sorts of bits and bobs. But yeah, bottom line is yes, you can. Not quite sure if it's on the same link or not. I think it might be, but I'll definitely update the link and make sure people can see it.
Thank you, David. Does anyone else have a sort of Swift stalker? It doesn't matter what time of day I come on to it. A guy from Belgium, Xavier, gives me a ride off. He didn't get a bit freaked out by it.
It's just you, David.
Kind of a big deal in Belgium.
They've heard about you over there.
Morning, Dad. Thanks for joining and commentating.
Yeah, I think that's a slight exaggeration of my likely input, but I'm looking forward to watching this.
If you're not participating, of course.
Well, I'm slightly ashamed to admit that my Zwift setup is, I'm a bit of a novice to Zwift, and the Watt bike is literally arriving next week, apparently.
Don't worry, I think it's the other kids that about different times, so it's too late. If you're not participating, of course. Good morning from Paris, everyone. So, Dan, I remember our pre-race chat in the Cup Champs last year when you said, let's rip it up, or something like that.
I think we ripped the second lap apart. I certainly ripped myself apart on the second lap.
Very impressive.
Mm.
Bonjour, Gary. Bonjour, vous êtes en forme?
10-minute warning, everyone. Looking good. So the video is now streaming. We have at least 2 fans online. Just to let you know. I'd like to just.
Is there a separate group for A's, B's, and C's on Discord?
No, because well, you can talk to each other if you want to, but why would you do that? Because you're racing them. So this is the group where we're going to just do all the commentary and any points updates that we can manage to get out. So if you want to hear what's going on, listen to this one. If you want to talk to fellow racers, then yeah, jump onto other channels. But this is one we'll be staying on for the commentary.
Okay, great.
It's going to be a mass start. Any opinions on whether we like the mass start or not? I know there's quite a lot of debate on the forum about this.
Personally, Toby here, I think the mass start stops anyone getting it wrong, and if one person gets it wrong,
Yeah,
the whole thing is ruined.
yeah, I think that's kind of where we landed in the end. And now there's 15 A's. I think if you're a strong B and you can steal the A's, well done you, really. I'll be interested to see what happens. I don't think we'll get any B's lasting in the top group. But there will be mixed groups, and for sure.
I think that's right. I mean, I think the A's will split to something anyway. So I for one, I'm looking forward to some B survivors when I get done from the front group.
Yeah, it's nice to have someone behind you all the time, isn't it? It's the worst thing in a Zwift race is to be the last guy thinking, there's no one to pick me up.
Yeah, really.
So do we have any idea on favourites or those informed moments? Toby, maybe you've got an idea there. Want to call the race?
I assume everyone's going to let me win. Well, yeah, I was looking at Brad right there, strong favourite as far as I'm concerned, but he's gone into the A's, so if it's either the B, I think that would have been nailed on. Ben Chapman's up in the A's as well. There's quite a few B's have promoted themselves up to the A category. I'll be very interested to see how they get on. My money is on Lee Davis for in the big boy and girl group.
Lee Davis. Anyone else care to venture an opinion?
I think I'll throw it in the mix as well. And Scott, I mean, Scott's a really strong sprinter, so he might pick up a lot of points on the, intermediate sprint points. I think Aussie looks very strong in the seas.
Yes, that is quite strong. That's a strong move.
Big statement.
Do we want to promote Aussie from the C's to the B's? Is that happy with him in the C's, Mr. Racebook Person?
Bump him up, please. Absolutely. Sandbagging police alert.
David, over to you as the race committee.
I think we'll take. There'll be a referee committee later on. I think Aussie is a B though, isn't he already? He's not his actual real category.
Good. Come on, David. This is Formula One. Make a decision.
Yeah, it's going to go to the committee. It feels like Lewis Hamilton bantering me from somewhere.
I think what happens if you don't race for a while, you drift down.
That's correct.
So he saw this coming in May. Backed off.
Should actually mention Claude in the C's as well. Claude is nearly a B, so that sort of rating means he's going to be very strong. I think Claude definitely wants to watch out for.
So Claude got into the B, I think.
We're B.
Oh, have you, Claude? Are you in the B's?
We're B. Yeah, I did a C race because just about lunch. I won it, so I'm in the B.
No, well done, Claude.
Oh,
Congratulations.
I don't know whether that was to congratulate you or to commiserate you.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
Claude.
tired. Every morning.
David, for people who are looking for the YouTube link, is it a public one? Can you search for it, or do you have to use that specific link?
You can search for it. I just done that with my wife, and she's found it, and it's streaming live at the moment. So it's happening now. I'm just getting the spreadsheet ready for you, Dan, which is why I'm not talking.
No problem at all. So if I search for London Dynamo on YouTube, will it come up?
You should find it, yeah.
Okay, doing a live test for that.
So where's the sprint panel? Is it the finish line or is it the one you see in the middle?
It's over the top of the cobbled fire.
Yeah.
Go around the corner, you'll see a big red and white banner.
Searching for London Dynamo, there's an interesting video called God in Disguise. Comes up. Not entirely clear why.
I'm not sure that's the one I was thinking of.
So can you only see people who are in your category? Because I can only see green jerseys.
I was about to ask exactly that. I've just seen an aerial shot where I can see the other pens.
Yeah, you're in a category of your own, and you will go off in your pen, and then the minute everyone will go together, and then you'll all merge, and you'll see the different jerseys, and you'll see on the right-hand side an A, B, C, D color-coded to see where you are position-wise. The one thing you can't see, I don't think, is you can't see where you are within your category. So if it says you're 17 out of 90 or whatever, there could be 16 A's above you. So that's the one thing Zwift doesn't help you with when it's a merge like this.
Okay, and if you can, right, and the colours, for those people watching, the A's are in Dynamo kit, B's are in green.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
are C's in?
Yeah, man. Just put it in. From the top.
That's like someone's got a Amazon delivery arrived.
Thanks, Ken. Just leave it on the doorstep.
Is that a delivery of extra watts?
Blood.
The testosterone jabs are arriving.
There's Aussie race. Looking at Aussie's miles for the year, I think he's been training very hard. Hopefully the power up to confusion.
Okay, guys, 2 minutes to go.
I like the tractor.
Zwift power is enabled.
So the tractor makes you really heavy. You've got to dump it straight away.
David, you wanted me to remind you to unprivate.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been unprivated, so that's good. It's on Zwift power now. We can see the primes. So it's all looking good. Tension's building. I can see people pedaling now, Dan. They're getting their power up before the start. It's a well-known Zwift trick. You don't want to get left behind. There's a very long blonde hairdo in the A's. I'm not quite sure who that is. I think we should have allowed ourselves some point deduction for bad dress sense.
Just want to check, David. We seem to have Stanley Kent, 14 years junior in the A's. Is that meant to be there?
If he wants to do that, he can. Well, I don't know who he is. He's an LD, so that's okay. We can't control the pens they're in, Dan. So anyway, look, 15 seconds to go. 10, 9, 8. You ready? Okay, we're going to reach to a commentator now.
1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's go!
Thank you, Murray, for helping out there. And they're off. And here it is, a very frantic start. Who's getting up there? Some young chaps who've really made a difference. The juniors are really pushing it at the front there. Making a huge break.
Looks like Lee Davis has shot off.
He's shot off. He's going to have to wait for people, I think, Dan. He's going to be too fast otherwise. He'll never sustain this for 16 laps.
There we go.
And here they come. Oh, now he's maybe. Oh, there's a green in there. Who's the green? Benji Hafton, I think that is. Michael. But already a bit of a gap there. So, Toby's made it across. Well done, Toby. And Lee's really. What's happening now? He's just hanging at the back of the bunch now, seeing what's going on. But certainly a group of about 18 riders now made a gap. They're not so far back to the next group, but it looks like they're catching up from the rear angle there. Here it comes. Here's the first prime. Let's see who's going to go for the sprint. Who's going to try and get across this line, get those points. Oh, it looks like someone took the prime jersey there. Who was this? This was Ben, I think. Oh, they all took the prime, whatever that means on Zwift.
We're not getting that data from Swift.
Now you have to, when we go on Zwift Power, it'll take a while to update, and then we'll see who it is in about a minute's time.
Okay.
Quite a good group though. We've even got a red jersey. Who's the red jersey in there? Oh, one of the juniors, Mr. Kent. Anyone know who that is? Is he on? No. 4 Bs hanging with the A's. So they're going to dominate the points. If they stay with this, they will get most of the sprint points the whole way through. So great tactics by these Bs. Should we drop back and have a look at the C race? I'm going to just drop back down the order a bit, see what's going on in the group behind. These groups look quite settled. Okay, here's now the Bs are very much a set of greens here. How many are we looking at in this group? Oh, a good bunch. Someone thrown a burrito. That's quite a rude thing to do, Dan. Burritos. That's when 2 burritos thrown in the Bs. They really want to shake some people now.
Slightly aggressive way to make friends in Dynamo.
Yeah. And Ken, okay, Ken. So short on Ken. Well, he's going to have to get a call out. That's a great result for him to jump into the Bs, and now he's going to be leading the Cs along with Tom. Okay. And actually, at the aerial shot here, you can see the Cs and Bs are very tightly grouped. That's a good race going on there, I think. This group of Cs or Bs will catch this lot, and then we're going to have one massive Bs, and then the 4 up front. Now let's just drop back again. We've got an A back in here, Marcus. Okay, he's not had such a good start. He's going to have to work hard, and of course, he's got a C, a B, an E, and a D on his tail, so they're just going to be hoping he's going to do all the work for him.
Meanwhile, up at the front, David, there has been a break for the prime, and it looks like Lee Davis has gone off the front and taken that second prime in comfortable style.
Okay, very good. He's consolidating his position early.
Couldn't see who's second and third over there, but looked like an easy win.
Very good. Right, back down at the back now, seeing who's around. Ralph Carter, he's right there at the back now. Here's a strong rider, so maybe he's not quite got his Zwift organisation right. Moment being led by Tim Piggott from Germany. Of course, not on a smart trainer, Tim, but joined the event anyway. There's a few more Cs enjoying it here. But everyone's together at the back. That's nice. There's no one being dropped at the very back group yet. He said, actually, there's one. Lucy Francis is just struggling a little bit. Well, she'll wait until the next lap and pick it up then, I'm sure. So we've got 50 riders altogether, just under.
All together up at the front as well.
Okay, so I'm just jumping up on the YouTube stream now to get back up to the front of the race, see what's going on here. There's a lot of activity. Just looking at the kind of what these guys are pushing out now, it's pretty strong. Yeah, so if you're there's sort of 300 watts each, 350. That's their average now. It's a pretty strong power to keep maintained for 45 minutes. 360. If you look at the top left on the screen, if you're viewing this on YouTube, you can see up here the selected rider, and then we look at this Michael here, the B rider, one of the slackers, obviously been training in the week. We're not teaching. He's sitting there, 80 RPM, 300 watts, and just sitting in the wheels.
Oh, you're coming.
Just moving up and down the groups here. Nice little group of 5. Mixed group. Duffy, Jay Hicks, Ollie Bod, the youngster who did so much in the spring for a great charity raise he did there. and Marcus the front. And they're just 23 seconds, so quite a gap. You can see there the gap between Marcus here and the next group of the Bs. So 23 seconds across. They could bridge that, depending how strong they're feeling, I suppose. Let's go and look at that B group. A lot of burritos still being thrown in the Bs, and and just as we go into the prime, so that's obviously the game they're playing. Now, there's a bit of a slight issue here. With Power is not showing these prime data at the moment, so we're going to have to wait for that to come through.
Yeah, that's basically it's lost in the Swift system, but we'll get that data at the end, David.
Yeah, I think
best. The spreadsheet was a nice attempt, but it's not going to be much use.
I think it'll just be. Now look at this. Now this I think we're watching here the Bs really stringing out at this stretch of the course down. If you can see this, and the as you go over these rollers, you come up the prime. You've done a bit of work, and then some people stretch out the front, and you can see here, Mr. G Van Home is looking like he's just being stretched a bit. So he's going to have to work hard to just close that gap. And there's Cloud, the newly promoted B, just there with Tom behind him. Very strong C, Tom. And Toby, actually. Toby also just sliding off the back there. Now, there's an example. There's Toby, who went up with the A's to start with, and he's dropped all the way back to the B's now. So there's an example of someone maybe pushed himself too hard, I think, the chairman. I don't know if he'd like to comment. Probably not, because he's working too hard.
No, that's spot on. Spot on. I went out too hard. Tried to steal that first group. Throw me out. Now I'm dropping back. It was great, did it?
Okay, well, do the work, Toby. I can see you're talking, so you're not working hard enough. So I would just try and get back on the back, he said from his armchair.
This is the Dynamo equivalent of having Brad Wiggins on the bike interviewing riders in the Tour de France. Good to hear from you mid-race, Toby.
Yes.
Right.
But I know, Toby, you're strong enough to work with Tom and Cloud, so I think you'll recover on that one. And there's a couple of Bs behind you as well, so you may well find yourself, after recovery, grouping up and moving back on. Plenty of racing to go yet. Let's see what's happening.
At the front, David B. Davis is charging up again, showing a good 850 watts of pace in the climb. But it looks to be a little bit more contested this time round, but no.
Oh, did he or did Ben? I think.
I'm not sure that was him, actually.
I think that was Ben. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben Chalmers did that one. And he set a new personal record up there, 14 seconds.
Wow, that's pretty rapid stuff. But you can also see there's tactics going on here because they're backing off now. Do you see how they've just allowed it all to come back together? They're not trying to really break this group, it seems to me.
Yeah.
On the rollers. We got, oh, there's one more B just really struggling to hang on. Michael is trying hard. I don't think he'll last another lap. It's a tough gig, this one. And he's got back on. Good work. "12 laps to go." I haven't seen that. There's the well, no, that's not 12 laps to go. That was just a 12 sign saying how many laps they're doing, I think. Oh, Michael's even going on the front of the race. This is a remarkable performance by the young B.
How many women do we have in the race?
Not so many as we'd like, Lucy.
I'm no man's land.
I think Ellie's up there. I haven't seen her actually though on the leaderboard.
I'm in Group D. I lost everyone. Sorry of my life.
Well, but what you're going to find pretty soon is people are going to come round and catch you up. And, yeah. So my advice for a fun ride is just enjoy it, and then when maybe the A's are going to just whiz past you, but when the B's and C's, just hop on the back of them and enjoy the draft. But it's very hard to catch them if you let them go. So look, watching your right-hand side, see them coming up and start getting there. Okay, here's the A's going up the hills again. Let's see who's going to challenge for this one. Oh, definitely, all of them are on drafting, dragging. We're looking at Ben. I think it's Lee over Ben there. Yes. That was Lee over Ben. And then M Walk. I think that's Michael. So very much two people slugging out at the top of the points board, I think, Dan. Ben and Lee. It's kind of true to form. We thought those two could be the strongest here. And again, you see
surprises there, but they're putting some pain into the rest of the group. Still need to whittle that down a bit. It's not going to be a sprint.
Yeah.
I think 12 still in that front group.
Yeah, and again, Michael just hanging off the back. He's doing well to hang on. I'm not sure he'll keep it going. But of course, he could win the Bs. If he can at least keep this up, he's got about a 20-second lead on the next B from my calculations here. Anyway, let's go back and look at the B sprint up the hill, see what we can find there. This looks like the main B group. They've just come up. Okay, how are we doing here? The challenge for these riders is, of course, they've got a few Bs ahead of them that are sort of on their own. They need to just work together, I think, to pick them off, to bring all the B group back together again. And we've still got Ken. Ken is still hanging in with this group. Well done, Ken. Did a very strong performance in the week in the WTRL race. Came 6th out of about 90 riders. Slightly hill race, so I think Ken could be the next C upgrade to B in the club, especially with this performance today. Oh, there you go, Lucy. You've just been overtaken, I think. Did you not get onto that lot? That's a hard lot to get onto the back of.
Okay, looks like back on the cobbles at the front again.
Let's go and have a look. Well, I think I'm going to follow the Bs for a little while. It's trying to work out quite where they're going here, because we've got David Beaver, our Australian, very polite chap, never swears. He is how many behind? Let's see.
Lots of new personal records up that sprint, really.
Yeah. So this B group is.
That's all time or just for this race?
I think it's.
This group of about 6-8 have just come past me in a left lead bunch. We've got Mark Ray just to the back trying to hold on there.
Okay. So have a look. Yes, this is like a second tier bunch here. Yeah. There they are. Yeah. We got them. I think that looks like them. I think they lapped you. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you did that.
Yeah. That's the main A group there that went past you, Toby.
Correct, I know that.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Well, I think we can upgrade Mark from hanging on. I think he's positioning himself nicely around this cornice. I don't think it's as marginal as might have been implying there, Toby.
Just had Shernick go past is, I think, the first B.
Yeah, he's been hanging on to that A group for quite a while there, Toby. And
yeah, he's on his own now.
Yeah. So it would be interesting to see how quickly and how far he drops. Because if he's on his own now, he could be sucked up quite quickly.
The next B is about 4, including 8. So you should see Mr. Hess.
Mr. Hess, yeah.
Then we've got to drop down to Michael Weeks and Charles Peach after that.
Yeah, and now Charles is in the same. Charles is in the main group still, I think. Or was he? Yes, he's in the main group. So that's the main group of Bs then. So if we get, and that looks like they are about Mr. Barrow. Don't recognise that name. I wonder if he's somebody snuck in.
Emily. It's Emily.
Oh, okay. You've not got LD after a name. Well, that's good. There's another lady. Well, she's riding strongly. So she's a B, and she is ahead, but she's slightly on her own. No, these primes aren't coming through live, I'm afraid.
Oh yes, the elastic seems to have been pulled apart a bit there for Mark. Hang on in there, Mark.
Oh, it looks like. I think we can. Emily. It looks like Emily's riding with Lionel, and looks more like she's probably going to be lapped, I suspect. Yeah, in fact, Swift Power is saying the same thing. Let's see who's racing. Toby, I see you just letting him through. Very polite. Going up the race. Let's see who is going to take the lead here. It's Hess and Balfour. Okay. Quite good tactics, I think, Dan, in this B race, because it's a big group, and I think they will come back together. So just this work to get up these prime sprints is going to count at the end, I think.
Well, that'll make for an exciting finish. I hope the riders know who's won the sprints, because it's pretty difficult to figure out for the spectators.
Yeah, they're going to have to just, in their heads, work out how. I mean, in a way, it's a bit of a lottery, isn't it? They're going to race as hard as they can, and then we'll see what happens with the points later on. Perhaps not as tactical as we hoped it could be, but looks like it's fun anyway.
I'm sure there's tactics out there, David. I'm sure there's tactics out there. It's just that it's in their heads.
Yeah. So I'm still looking at this. Very interested to see if these Bs, Michael now, well, let's see where he is. So it's 13 seconds to catch Hess and 29 to Michael. So he's on his own. Where is he? He's trying to get onto this group here, but he's lapping. So Michael's effectively, the top B is going for a solo ride to the end. Doesn't look like he's waiting. He's pushing out the power still. 300 watts.
How many laps left, David?
They're done 14K. So there's plenty of work to do. Another 25.
Well,
I don't think.
8.
Yeah.
Back on the cobbles at the front as well.
Very strong ride, but let's see if he can hold it. He's just going to cut to Ralph. I wonder if Ralph will try and jump on the back, or is he just going to let this one roll? Up the cobble. So he's, of course, what Michael is doing, if he does stay out lead, he's building up a big tally of 5 points as the leading B. Every lap he's doing this. That's going to give him 2 or 3 place advantage in the sprint. So the tactics could work.
And remind us, what's the reward for the points, David?
So for each lap, it's 5 points to be at the top of that red banner just behind Mike on the screen now. He will get 5 points, and the next rider 4, 3, 2, 1, and then at the end it's 100, 90, 80. So if you make 20 points up on every other rider, then you've got a sort of 2 place advantage when it comes to final reckoning.
Yeah.
So it can't change the result too much, but it can just give you that little edge in the sprint and help you. Just gone past Ralph. So let's see what the gap now is between Michael and the rest of the C. So
David, just to say, I'm about to be passed by Stanley Kent. He's actually at the silo of Jim Kent, long-time Dynamo member.
Ah, yeah. Well, he went off really fast at the start. He was right up with the leading group at the start, from what I could tell. It looks like it's still 9 of the A crowd is still 9. They're a pretty solid group of A's. Let's just go through who these guys are. I mean, Toby, you can maybe give us some colour on who we're looking at. M. Walk and M. Town. The Michael or Marks? I'm not sure.
Mitchell Walk.
Okay. He's up there. Mark Gray, of course, our well-known kit manager.
These are all strong names. These are all stage, sort of
Right,
got
right.
best feeling for the team time trial. They don't expect to be up there.
Jay Knighton. Yeah,
James Knighton.
Jane, right. So Dobbs. So they're all pretty solid. Okay, they're going up. They're going to climb again now. This group of A's. Let's see what's going on. 3 of them throwing feathers, 2 throwing arrows, and it's still Ben is just pushing it out at the lead. I think still, and then Mitchell Walk came in there, got a second. So he did well. Now this is this gap that's interesting. So they've now 4 of them have got a bit of a gap. Now, are they going to try and push it out, or do you think they're just going to let it keep coming back together? Mark now 3 seconds. I think Mark might have been spat out the back. Come on, Mark.
Yeah, I think Mark's found that part a bit tough every lap.
Yeah,
You work hard to get back on.
Yeah, you know, don't you, when you're doing this race, that if you can't quite get that hill, it's going to be really hard. Because this rolling part is a real pain. So we're watching a man in real pain here, Mr. Gray.
Come on, Mark. Come on, Mark. Go for it.
You can catch him up.
There's one.
Yeah, I'm in pain.
Oh, Toby, he's coming on your wheel, Toby. So perhaps you can give him a little catch up to the A's. What do you think? Give him a boost.
I'm not sure that.
Come on, domestic Scotland.
A committee working together here. Toby's gone up to 8.5. He's really pushed through it. Go on, Toby. I don't know if you can do it, but this could be an amazing effort. Go down in. I mean, we could even get the new commentary over this. 5 seconds back to the group of A's.
Just an update from the Bs, David. Michael seems to push his lead out to 33 seconds.
Wow, that's a great ride by Michael.
44 seconds. He's rampaging at the moment. Sorry, he's 44 seconds back from the pack, so he's about 60. He's extended 16 seconds over his second place, which is Andrew Hess.
Okay. I don't think Mark's even going to catch Toby. He's a bit blown. Okay. Recovering, Mark. Okay, Mark, we're going to leave you to your pain and go and visit what's happening down but behind.
And just in the seas, big shout out to Ken, who looks like he's got a lead of about 120 over Tom Northcote.
Okay.
Andrew M in 3rd place in the seas.
Oh, actually, the Bs is it's much tighter than you think. I think it looks to me like the main group of Bs is 8 seconds behind Andrew Hess, who is only 8 seconds behind Michael. So I think that is going to come together. Although, okay, Andrew's now in with the bunch, so he's hopped onto a group of A's here, so that'll help him for a while. JP, Mr. Bradley, Wright. And even, oh, go on, Lucy, you can hang on to them. Maybe going a bit too fast. Yeah, so this is a good tactic. So I think what we may see now, yeah, that's going to be challenging because now we've got to get the B group catching up a group of 3 A's and 2 strong B's. So that could be a little gruppetto that's going to form now. But they're definitely going to catch Michael. He's only 4 seconds out from them now.
Meanwhile, back up at the front, David, probably worth having a look. Swift Power suggesting that Lee's opened up a little bit of a lead, but that might just be a temporary gap.
Yes, well, no, you're right. Wow. That's a significant. That's a 7.
Confirm that.
Yeah, 7 seconds. That's quite early to go for that. He must be feeling on super good form at the moment. Just come past young Mr. Kent.
Well, we're over halfway. Lap 10 for the leading group.
Yeah, well, I think the commentator just given Lee a kudos because he's looking very strong right now. He's putting out, let's look at the wattage now, he's putting out about 315 watts at 165 beats per minute at a very steady 80 RPM, 4.4 watts per kilogram. Nice riding.
Probably got about 12, 13, 14 minutes left of this effort, so...
I think he's about to get taken over by a youngster. No, he's got one of the juniors on his tail. The juniors can be so strong, can't they? That's incredible. Of course, quite light as well. It helps. Yes.
Good work, then. You can hold it. You can hold it. That's good work.
Yeah, no, he can. He's very strong. But it's about 8 seconds back to the next group. Oh, there's a bit of a subgroup even there as well, actually, it looks like. So you've now got Ben Mitchell and Brendan Dodge just going up around the corner here. Splitting at the front of the A's too, I think, totally.
So the Swift Power getting lead with 3 seconds. Oh no, it's up, sorry, it's up to 7 seconds now.
Yeah, it's updating in another few seconds, so we might see a bit more shortly. He's not leaving anything to chance, is he? He doesn't want to have the risk of getting a loss on sprint points. I think just by going out the front now, he's just consolidating this position.
Which is classically, he does this in the park ride, tries to do this, get a breakaway, survive up the front. He's a good time for Alex.
Right. Well, he's looking good at the moment. Let's drop back and see what's going on in the lower ranks here. Okay, I think so. Andrew Hess is certainly, yes, he's the #1 B right now, but he's not far ahead. I think he's going to.
No, what about Shirley?
Sorry, I beg your pardon. No, they're together. That's it. They're together now. So Schoeneck and Hess have come together in the group, and they're with a group of 3 A's: JL, Jay Bradley, and Andrew Hess. JP, sorry, not JL. And then Jeremy and the big gang of B's, still a strong big group here. I think this is interesting. They are 14, 15 seconds behind.
You've got a group of 5 there just gone past, as you say, 2 B's with 3 A's being chased down. It should be fun.
Yeah, I think this is where there's going to be 2 very good races on here. And I think having these 3 A's in that group, Toby, is going to really help the 2 B's that put it out at the start, Michael and Andrew. They're going to, they're going to leverage that. So
absolutely, I think that's the gamble you take. If you go out really hard, but you can find a group to stick with, that's just going to come to your advantage at the end.
Yeah.
Having said that, it's a pretty big group behind.
Yeah, no, it really is.
And we may have a bit of excitement up at the front there, but Swift Power calling these down to 2 seconds. Then Chapman seems to put a big push in and is trying to close the gap. So we could have a 2 up at the front. And get the camera back there.
Yeah, let's have a look. Well, they're going up the sprint. That could be part of it. So you're right. So Ben is just 6 watts per kilo. He's pushing hard on the front there.
He is the polka dot jersey wearer.
Yeah, and there's 2 of them behind him. 8 seconds I've got on the live leaderboard to the right. So he's still ahead, and he's still got the young Kent with him. Who is this force of nature? Toby, tell us more about this young rider. You said he was the son of an old Dynamo?
The son of Jim Kent. I know he's been training most of his life. I think he takes part in the Hillingdon TTs in the summer when they happen. Strong rider.
Very good. Probably where he is on the thing. So he has been lapped. But he's holding Lee now, although he's been lapped.
I guess he's in a race with Molly Bodley, is he?
That's well, actually, Louis Corsten Davis is the main competitor. He's 11 seconds behind from him, and then Ollie Bod is another. He's really dropped it off. He's about a minute back.
Okay, so go for it, guys.
But it looks like Stanley's actually leading out Lee, so Lee's very happy with this situation. Great race by the juniors. Great time coming through. I have to say, I do like Stanley's hairdo with the grey hair and the specs. He looks old before his years.
Maybe it's Jim pretending to be Stanley.
Yeah, it could be. Jim's running a nice bike repair business at the moment. Let's pop up and see what's going on in the Bs then. Oh, there's a couple of people now. They just dropped back a bit, or this has been a push. So Charles is a very strong rider, and Stephen Farrington. And then they got Ken 3 seconds behind. It looks like there's been a bit of a split in the Bs.
I'm not sure that's going to help them in the long run. That might be split third place.
Yeah, they've dropped a couple. You're going to see them come past you shortly. So in the main B chase, it's still a strong B chase group. You know, you've got Benji Haston, David Bieber, Jed is still in there. Yeah.
David Bieber's been a beast recently, so
yeah,
those two could really go.
Yeah, you've got Jed. Jed is in there, the great sprinter. Been on Zwift for years. Michael Weeks still up there. So still quite a strong group of groups. It's a strong group of Bs following up on the A's here. Oh, but I think that little they've dropped back. So they were at about 13 seconds. They're now down to 20 behind. So I think Michael and Andrew are really benefiting from these three. Jeremy, JP, and well, it's not Mark yet, is it? Mark may be coming back into that group.
It will be soon. I got back.
Yeah. So what's happening back in my world? In Sealand, the sea race is a bit more broken up, it seems. Ken has definitely benefited from a lot of work. He's now got to hold on for about 4 laps on his own, and he's got Tom behind. Now, Tom, if Tom's listening, he needs to get onto this group here. Just about coming up on you, Tom. If you can hang on. Oh, that didn't look like he was going to hang on. It went straight past him very quickly. I could have taken you back up to Ken, is my case, Tom, but perhaps not. But you're in a strong second position in the Cs. Next behind you, Fred, we're looking about a minute and a half. So the C race, perhaps not enough participants there. Got down. And we got these. So this is a race for third place in the Cs. You got Fred, John Hicks, Stephen Fardell, and Nico Carniato. And they've been riding around for quite a long time now together, sitting around. So this little group here, these 4, these are probably for third place in the Cs we're looking at.
I haven't seen Steve Fardell on track before, so I'd like to welcome him.
Yeah, he's in. He's not got the London Dynamo club, so we need to get him into the Zwift club against him as well. So I don't know that group of Cs are thinking about it going up this hill, but actually, if they were, they're all going to be scoring 3, 2, and 1 points each time. Tom and Ken will take the 5 and the 4, but this little sprint they're looking at now and doing 132 watts, so they're definitely not trying. Could make all the difference at the end. We'll find out later. Let's jump back up to the front and see what's going on.
Well, it's no change at the front, with Lee powering away. Got about an 8.9 second lead according to Swift Power.
Okay. And he's still got.
Just having a look at his profile for those of you who wondered what it might take to be able to push off the front of the London Dynamo Championship. He's got 8,509 Zwift points, and Zwift have him at an FTP of 350 watts at 78 kilos.
Holy moly.
So there you go, everybody.
350 watts. So what does a pro rider have? They're up to above 400 their FTPs, presumably.
I think Brad, when he took the hour record, did something like 440 watts, 450.
Wow.
It's a bit of a way to go there, dude.
So someone's now, so Marcus now. Oh, okay. So it looks like Marcus is going to give him a bit of a push. Nice to see that. Fellow A's working. He's been lapped now. But he's still.
That's extremely ethical. Marcos already questioned a few weeks ago for his ethical behaviour in the London Dynamo chase race.
Yes, yes, joining the C's. Yeah. The C's were quite happy about it, I have to tell you, Toby.
What, for half a lap?
Sure they were.
He dragged us all round.
So we just had that odd-looking group of Lee Davis, Marcus Hadley, and Stanley Kent just go by me.
Yeah.
Looking very strong.
So you're going to see. So you're going to a feeling for the gap back to the next group is not that big. I mean, you know, the camera angle here shows them at the back of the previous straight. So it's 8 seconds. It's not irrecoverable, I'd say. You know, if you weaken, you've still got how many laps he's got. Oh, it's coming down. It's down to the last 2 laps, I think. Yeah.
That group has just gone past me.
Do they look like they're putting some extra work in to close the gap or not?
Yeah, they're working hard. They're not working ferociously. I'm watching them. Charles Peach is now doing 300 watts. Coming to the drive.
I think it's a race for second place in the A's. Let's just drop into. So yes.
They have just blown the B's right out of that group. A couple of B's trying to hold on to that second A group and got absolutely blown apart.
Who was that? Well, the Charles and Stephen.
Yeah, Charles and Stephen trying to hold on to that group.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, they're a lap down anyway, so I've no, you know, you think, oh, I can rest and I'll have some power left, but I think once you're blown, you know, your power's gone really. Oh, Fredericks. Okay, there's a bit of a break-up in the C race actually. Yes. So there is a bit of people hopping onto other laps here. So John Hicks has now hopped onto Charles and Stephen, and he's dropped Fred by 5 seconds, and Fred himself is a bit no man's land, I think. He's 5 seconds up from Steve. So the whole C race is just really split out. It's 6 individual races racing for the line. So that's very much down to kind of your final power type of. Let's maybe focus in on the group of B's chasing Michael. What's going on there? So they're still okay. So Michael and Andrew Hess are still in that group of A's helping them. They're 3+2. We might be able to identify who is that criminal with the long blonde hair.
Got a bit of a casualty on the course by the looks of it.
Bradley. Okay, Jeremy Bradley is going to have a hair fine, I think, for his avatar. No, it's going.
Must be pretty close to the. Must be pretty close to the end up at the front there. Then.
We're just about to go on the final lap. Yes, you're right.
I think they're coming into the final lap. These are the final lap.
Right, so let's just get up to the front and watch that happen then.
So there are six riders left in the chasing group. Chapman, Dobbs, Clara, Knighton, Townsend, Walker, and Leeson. That's 27.
Yeah, so Lee, I think we'll look at Lee is at 9 seconds up, so he's looking pretty good.
I think that casualty on the course was Brad Wright.
We need to send the ambulance.
Actually, you know what? His lead is coming down a lot now. So Lee is let's watch it from this position here. So this is the number 2 rider chasing down Lee, and you can see the rider in the front there.
Does it like it's being reeled in here, David?
Well, it could be, couldn't it? There's a big group chasing them. He's got to hold on. 7 seconds he's got. Will they catch him? We're just going to watch it from that rear view because you can see him up front, the little glinting. I think he's 7 seconds. He can hang on to that. Might be looking at the race for second still. here it is. The sprint's opening up now. Looks like Ben Chapman is there. Three seconds. Ooh, very close, but I think Lee got it. I think he got it. They're just warming down now.
Something happened to Hamish there. Hamish seems to have stopped.
Yeah, well, they've stopped on the course. Now oh, unfortunately, I've been returned. I was worried that might happen. My camera is now returned to the main event, and I'm not able to see.
That was the end. That was the end of the race.
Yeah, but I can't watch the B race, I'm afraid, and I can't film that.
So we've got, looks, so I have a go.
Actually, I can maybe, whoa, back. No, I can. Sorry, what am I talking about? Here we go. He's managed to do it. So this is Michael and Andrew. Who's going to win out of the two Bs? That's a strong sprint. Oh, so close. And I think Michael got that. Or did he? Very hard to tell. Very hard to tell. Again, we might have to go back into the thing. Let's go and look at the next set of riders who's left in the race. Here's now the last race coming in. You see how close it really is. You know, you think they've got a gap, but this is just the final sprint now.
It's where I expect Jed to do well.
Yeah, Benji's got it. No, Benji's well ahead, it looks like to me. I think first over the line.
Zwift calling the Bs for Andrew Hess with Michael second.
Right, okay.
Rick Jeffrey is in third. That's on Zwift Power.
Okay. Very good. So the final one to look at then.
Brendan Dobbs in third place in the A's. So podium for the A's, according to Zwift Power, this is provisional result. Lee Davis first, Ben Chapman in second, Brendan Dobbs in third.
And it looks.
Guys, in the seat, are Ken and Tom back together?
It looks like they might be.
Yeah, but they finished though. That's why. Where are you then? Oh, right. Okay, hang on. I'm trying to find you guys. Here we go. Gotcha. Right, here we go. Okay, here's Tom and Ken and Ralph. Okay, here it is. They're watching it now. Oh, that's a very impressive bit of catch up by Tom.
Mr. KG, you've got Ken sitting on Tom's wheel at the moment.
Yeah. You've got to remember though, he's got an advantage because he's been out all that time. So you know, really, Tom's got to win this one to have any chance. In fact, Ken can kind of just take it easy, sit on the wheel. His earlier efforts are going to pay off now. Oh, and he's even drafting. Oh no, that's not drafting. Oh, Ken wants to. Oh, Ken wants to win anyway. He's not going to take it easy. Show him who's the king of the seas.
So is that a question about the Bs?
Over the line first was Andrew, I think we said.
Well, hang on a second. We've got a bit of.
And we just got to finish this race because we've got Ken and the C race is just hotting up for the finish. I think Tom's. Tom takes Ken. He's looking good. This is very cagey. The two of them are racing each other. They're putting out best part of 250, 300 watts. It's good power for these C riders. Up to 465 now on Ken. 560. He's really pushing, but Tom's putting it to 560 watts. That's a great sprint.
Here he goes.
Here we come. 8 watts per kilogram. Oh, there he goes. How strong does that look? Wow. 850. That's a great performance. I think Ken is going to be very soon a B. Well done, Ken. First over the line, I think first in the points as well. Great effort. Congratulations. And well raced, Tom. Well done for getting back and catching it.
Well done, Ken. Well done, Ken.
Yeah, kudos indeed. Let's see who's left on the course. So we've got a couple of riders that still moving. Hang on, I'm just wondering who's. Have we got anyone we could like to interview? So who have we got?
Let's get a winner. Let's see if we can hear from Lee.
No, I
Lee
don't.
on Discord by any chance?
No, I don't think he is. Anyone else who's in that A group on Discord? What did I?
Yeah, Ben's here, lying on the floor.
Ah, Ben. Okay, well done, Ben. So we're going to give us some. How was the race for you?
Different to your standard sprint race. There's a lot more like on and off the sprint points. Just made it fun. Yeah, super hard up the time. That's the closest I felt to bombing after a race. So yeah, quite fun.
Good. Type B fun. That's what we want to hear. So you like the fact that we had the little sprint points. That was Mark Gray's idea, who is actually on the line and is happy to take abuse, or congratulations.
Definitely makes it more dynamic.
Yeah, I think it was actually Mitch's idea. I think it might be suffering almost like I was, so and it's bad. But yeah, it was good. It made it really hard on the hill, and made it more spectacular. And everyone had it as well, so I thought it went well.
Yeah. Well,
well done, everyone who survived in that injury. It was super fast.
Yeah, it's very good. Very good. So the top three before the points, Lee. I think Lee is going to be probably likely winner. He was doing well on the sprints. Then Hamish and Brendan moving down. Ben, I wouldn't be surprised if Ben nicks a place back because he was doing well on the points. In the A's, it's Andrew and then Michael, but I think Michael had a lot of extra points. So you may find that Michael might just be very tight at the top of the B's on the points race, I think. Then Benji third. I'm just going to watch a few others. No, no, not at all. It's good fun.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's good.
Yeah, thanks a lot for organising, David. I know that I'm normally for it now, and I think it went really well.
Ah, good. Well, that's the main thing.
Yeah, thanks again, David.
Sprint stops from being lazy.
I said sprinting.
David, are you able to share any sneak peek of the inter-club championships?
Share any what, sorry?
So, club championships are sorting out.
Yeah.
The inter-club one.
Oh, interclub. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. We've got three being lined up at the moment. I'm waiting for one guy from Islington to confirm a date, and then we're going to kind of get those sorted out. It's going to be one per month. Supposedly in December. I'm a little bit unsure about that. Although with this new lockdown, I think it will be a bit more enthused. I thought the lockdown will be a bit lesser, and therefore people will be out riding. But I think it's looking like it's going to be tougher. So hopefully that'll be good. We may get one in December, and then it'll be January, February, March, and then see how we go from there. We're looking to do the same course as London. We probably do an Alpe d'Huez leg. We're going to do a France flattish leg, and we'll probably do one. What was it we're looking at? Well, another hilly one, basically. So there's Emily riding around with Lionel at the back, having a nice time. Gary's there. Toby, you're just sitting out there, and Lucy. So just 4 or 5 riders on the course now, slowly coming in.
Let's chuck them all some kudos.
I think that's a good plan. Commentators like to see people who finish their rides.
Thank you for the big thumbs up. Thanks for organising.
Oh, that's fine. We'll just keep this.
Thank you, David. That was awesome.
No problem at all.
David, will the final results come through from Swift automatically?
Well, they'll be honest with Pal. The thing I'm interested in seeing is it's still saying on the primes thing, no primes for this event. So I'm a little bit nervous that whole. I didn't want to say it till the end, but it may well be that the points will come to nothing. But we'll see what we see. I think it may take time to process it. But when we were looking at it yesterday, Dan, the primes were actually working live. So I don't know if that was a setting that we didn't have. We're going to find out in a short time. I think nonetheless it made people race differently. I don't think it'll affect the winners. The only one possibly is in the B category, but.
Thanks for organising, David. Thanks for it.
Yeah, no problem. How did it go for you, Jed?
Sorry?
How did it go for you? Where do you finish? Oh, you got
Fourth.
Fourth.
Indeed.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, I think the two that won it, Jed, were Andrew and Michael, and they just managed to hang on to that A's at the start, and then that helped them.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way that I can hold on to that A's.
Yeah, I mean they got dropped, but what happened is they then got a second group of A's, 3 of them, and that was because you were catching them, and then once they got with that, it was a group of 5, and they were able to just move it a bit quicker, basically.
I was so thankful for that race.
Yeah.
I was just not in the great using my group. I was way lower than everyone else.
Yeah.
Doing everything I could.
Yeah, just to say that's the right tactic. I tried to stay with those A's. It just absolutely destroyed me.
Yeah, and then the B group had to do it. We're just constantly thinking, why do that?
Exactly. I didn't realize quite how far back the B group was.
It's just what happens when you kind of reach that top level of B, or that better level of B, you kind of think, okay, sometimes the angle. It was the sprint, the prime that kicked me off the back. Yeah, so I just couldn't hold it on the top one.
Yeah. When they went for that was carnage.
Yeah, had we not had that, it would have been a different result, and that made it more fun to say.
Yeah. So on YouTube, we're just watching the last rider now, Gary, coming round the hill. So we'll see him to the finish, and then we'll probably close down the YouTube.
Gary, just before we sign off, David, I think a shout out to the juniors is probably in order. I think there were 3, and the junior race, if I'm reading this right, was won by Stanley Kent. In silver was Louis Corston, and then 3rd was Ollie Bodd. So congratulations to all of them. Certainly my kids that age wouldn't be up at this time of day doing exercise. So kudos to all 3 of you. Well done.
Yeah, and actually young Stanley and both Stanley and Louis were both ahead of all the C's. So they were 24th and 28th. So it's a great race.
Yeah. Look forward to them thrashing.
And the women winner is Emily Barrow. Is she a Dynamo? She says VSCC Flapjack behind her name.
She's also a Dynamo.
Okay.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
And Lucy, in case you're wondering, you're going to be second.
I'm done.
You're second.
I'm here.
Yeah, there you go. You finished it and you get a second. How good is?
Thank you, guys.
How good is that? Well done. Well rowed. Right.
Cheers.
Well rowed.
Thank you.
Gary's just coming around the last lap here. Putting a sprint in, perhaps. 92 watts. No. Oh no. Maybe. Come on. Push it. 200. That's the spirit. 400. Come on. Push it in.
Go, Gary.
Well done. 40 Ks. Good work, Gary. Alrighty. So how was that for you?
David. No, it's tough.
It doesn't matter.
It's not my cup of tea, but I want to do it anyway.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Thank you for organizing.
Okay, well ridden. Okay, well we're going to sign off on the YouTube now, and then we're going to. I think what we'll do is we'll put any results up on the London Dynamo forum and on the chat once we've got it organised. All right. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well done. Bye-bye.